7 o'clock, I call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the June 14th, 2020 Manistee Township hearing and the June 4th, 2020 board meeting.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes for June 14th and the special budget meeting for the 14th.
I'll support that.
Been moved, supported that the minutes of the June 14th and the June budget. Pardon?
I'm sorry?
Isn't it June 11th? It says?
Yeah. Yeah, it's June 11th.
Sorry.
The June 11th, 2020 Manistee Township budget public hearing and the June 11th, 2020 board meeting. Motion's been made and approved. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Carried. Thank you. You received a copy of your treasurer's report. Any comments? If not, place them on file. Planning Commission approved minutes of the March 11th, 2020 minutes. Meeting, Kai, anything to add?
No, that was a special meeting to discuss and approve the special land use permit for Maple Ridge. Unless there's some question about that.
Any questions? Entertain a motion to accept those minutes and place them on file. Zoning Board of Appeals meeting, the minutes are not available yet. That was held on February 4th. Who's the secretary of that?
Todd Madison.
Okay. Anyone with anything to bring before the board at this time? Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to talk about the speed limit on Piney Road and the enforcement thereof.
Or lack of?
Lack of, yeah. I don't know what you guys have done in the past, we're putting up those signs to say how fast you're going, whether you station a policeman there at one of the public accesses to get a speed gun, take licenses. I've talked to neighbors and they say it's been like that for 30 years, whatever. I don't want to live here for 30 years like that. I put out a little green man with one of those flags that say slow, and somebody stole it. I've got a story, and I probably know who stole it, because I went, and this guy gunned it coming off a lake shore, and I went and followed, I didn't follow him, but I waited, and I went down the road to see where his car went, and I approached him and said, this is a residential zone, what are you doing? Kind of chewed him out, saying, you got to slow down, you can't be gunning it coming off the lake shore. And he said, okay. Well, then I found out another neighbor had called the cops on him that same kind of weekend. He's probably thinking it was me, because I told him we're going to be a cop station here, so you better watch out. So I was talking to Phil, and Phil was going to ask for policeman coverage for a while. So that's who I think retaliated. It's getting ridiculous. You can't put signs out that say slow, people take them. People just, it's not everybody, but the people that go 40, 50, and gun it off the lake shore or gun it going west that are already gunning it up to the stop sign is ridiculous. There's kids that have moved into that neighborhood now. They're biking, they're skating, they're rollerblading up and down. It's a safety hazard for people. People walk their dogs. People walk down there all the freaking time. And it's something's got to be done about it. Ultimately, it would be really great to have rumble strips, and I don't know if the township pays for that. I'm glad to chip in for that, believe me. Something's got to be done permanently. You put a cop there, you put a sign there, people slow down for a month or so, and then they see nothing's going on, and boom, back at it. So I don't know, I'm bringing it up to you.
Whoever told you it's been an ongoing problem is correct, it has been.
Yeah,
Because that right of way is so narrow through there,
yeah,
and the road is so narrow.
but it's a residential city.
It is.
You know, statewide, residential 25. Why do people think that that's like a raceway? I don't understand.
Are there several, or is there just one in particular? Because there's one
Oh,
in
there's
particular.
several. There's
There's
several.
one in particular that I've been called, that people have called my home several times about.
There's several.
Well, we can ask the sheriff's department to patrol it, we can ask for the mobile speed limit sign to be put out there, and they will do that. We've done that in other areas, and as you suggested, it helped for 30 days, you know, but, I'm not sure if rumble strips would be the answer, because it'd be tough to find somebody that wanted them in front of their house, to be very honest with you.
I'll take them from mine. I'm the first house right there off of Lake Shore. I'll take them from mine.
We moved that sign because
I
the
know.
sign wasn't very visible.
I know, and you know, I don't know if you've been down there, but I've wrapped it.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm the one who did that, so.
I'll call the sheriff and be glad to have the sheriff ask him to go out there and put the speed limit sign out there. And I will convey your concerns.
Could you also check into the possibility of rumble strips, or just one bump or something that would, somebody would have to slow down to go over? I mean, rumble strips, I guess you can keep going, but one bump, I don't know. Sometimes you've got to slow down for that. Like I see in parking lots and stuff, and you know, speeding over a one bump.
I'll ask, but I don't know if the road commission would allow it. They have jurisdiction on the road.
Okay,
I'll ask, sure,
yeah, please do, I appreciate it.
sure. But there is one individual that I've been called several times about, and they come off, I live just off the corner of Hill and Cop. And when they leave that corner lane, they're passing cars and they're just having a good time. But I used to do the same thing.
Well, yeah, I know, it's a younger person, and if that's the same person, I, you know, it's, I don't know.
Okay, can you leave us with your phone number or something? I can call you back just to let you know what I found out, if that would help. Or-
Sure, I mean, I'm signed in, so.
Okay, all right.
I know it down.
All right. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Not sure how to present this or bring it up,
And you are?
but, Matt Chang.
Okay.
We've been wondering how to get ORVs out on the public highways, the public roads. I know a lot of communities around here, around us, Manistee Township, Stronach and File, around them townships, that you can ride UTVs on the roads with restrictions, speed limits and stuff like that. I don't know what the procedure would be to bring it in front of the board and to see if we can get the community or you to, you know, possibly pass it so we can ride UTVs on the road or ORVs.
Well, this was brought before the board some time ago, to be honest with you. And I started to pursue it, and then the COVID hit. Not an excuse, but it got pushed on the back burner. What I did so far was I talked to the road commission, and I talked at that time to Mr. O'Hagan, who was the sheriff,
Yes.
and since I've talked to Mr. Falk, who was the sheriff. And they don't have at one time, the sheriff and the road commission were dead set against it. That's no longer the situation. Don't have a problem. They don't guarantee what type of enforcement or anything like that. I have put together, this is a county map that shows any ORV map, or any ORV road that's open in Manistee County.
Okay.
I've gone as far as draw up a map as to what roads I personally felt could be open in Manistee Township. One thing that was brought to my attention initially was that there's a lot of these ORV trails that don't go anywhere.
Right.
I mean, you go from here to the end of the street and then that's it.
Exactly.
You know? Well, with Sam's advice, and he's a DNR officer, he suggested that if we're gonna do something like this, that we do it so that you can go someplace, you know, I mean, it's not all dead-end streets. It takes an ordinance by the township, it takes, I believe, a public hearing, believe it does take a public hearing. It takes some effort, and if there's interest in it, we're willing to put that forward. I think a public hearing would have to be allowed or asked for, because to get, you know, if you're gonna allow these in front of people's homes, they have a right to say whether they are in favor or not in favor, you know. Speed limits are a concern, tires are a concern, I think, is that fair to say, Sam?
They have to ride to the right of the shoulder of the roadway. So they're facing on the shoulder. They're not supposed to be on the pavement, which they do. But far right speed no greater than 25 miles an hour, single file, headlights, brake lights have to be displayed at all times. And I think it's from sunrise to sunset is basically what a lot of the townships that have adopted this have.
Okay, yeah, I have all the ordinances of the different municipalities.
I've been basically focusing on like Mason County, because they did just the whole county. I don't think they did like separate townships. And I know people that live in Mason County, I talked to them, they don't hear any complaints from the community. The police are fine with it, you know, they're enforcing, you know, the 25 and single file and stuff like that. And they have it all wrote down in their ordinance how to do it. But my thing was just to, I talked to a lot of people around here that want it, and I told them about the meeting, but obviously, you know.
Well, there were a group of, I believe here
In the fall.
in the fall.
Yeah.
that,
Probably one was, I've been speaking to Duke Edmondson.
Right?
I know he's
Yeah,
tried to get it before, and
Yeah.
and he did say something about the COVID thing, you guys were talking about it. I spoke to somebody, and I can't remember his name, I wrote it down somewhere, I can't remember. He said he was on the ceramic board, and he said it's on the table, I don't know what that means, if
they
they're,
don't have, it's not allowed.
it's not allowed, they've ordered it down.
Stronach, let's see, Brown, Stronach, Filer, and I don't think there's any in Norman either.
Norman has it.
Yeah,
Is there?
Norman has it, it just has not gone to the state level. So actually, it's not official yet.
Oh, okay.
But it's been here for a few years.
But one thing I did discover, that if you want to leave Manistee Township on an ORV, the only way to leave Manistee Township is on Miller Road.
Mhm.
Everything else
It's
is
closed
confined.
around us.
Everything is,
Right.
I mean,
Right. And, you know, I understand that it's gonna take some work, I know, and I'm willing to work with you and work, you know.
well, these other gentlemen expressed that as well. I said, I'll be honest with you, I just dropped the ball on it.
No, that's fine, you know, I just wanted to, I kind of, you know, like I say, been talking to people, didn't know what to do. And they said, we gotta go in front of the board, so, figured I'd bring it up and see.
We'll bring it back to the surface.
Okay.
Hopefully,
That'd be great.
hopefully it doesn't get buried.
I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Unrelated. The channel, the
Yep.
garlic channel, is there anything looking at long-term being done with that? I know it's been dug out so many times. Is the township doing that, or is private people doing that?
Both are doing it.
Is there anything long-term to like widen the channel? Or
No, it's, was that all, excuse me, is that all you
I'm
had?
sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
I just need to know what to do next, and
All right, okay, thank you. No, this much I can tell you, as far as a recommendation from the engineers would be to, the suggested would be to put a jetty out there to protect that channel from northwest winds from plugging up. But the Corps of Engineers are very, very much against putting jetties out into the lake. It's currently plugged because the water level is at its highest point.
right.
And the last time we had waves, water was going into it.
It was flowing good for a while.
It was,
Yeah.
but there's like 3.5 inches difference right now between Bar Lake and Lake Michigan, and there's really, you don't get much of a flow. It's pretty easy to plug it.
Yeah.
And there are the people in the neighborhood
Oh, yeah, I've been down there.
that call me and let me know if there's any danger with their septics and things like that.
Yeah.
The warm weather obviously has been evaporating some water or something, I don't know, but it's been pretty calm for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you. Commissioner, he was obviously busy again. Guys, anything going on in your office?
A few things. Didn't have any new written complaints this month. I went to court a week ago on the burned house on Miller Road. And the judge placed an order to clean it up in 45 days. So I think that was just written yesterday, and I'm waiting for signing it. So that's going to happen. I'm monitoring residents on US 31 that appears to be working on cars in the residential district. The cars are moving, except for the one with the bumper off, so I'm just keeping an eye on it. If they don't move in 60 days, then it's considered junk, so abandoned vehicles. For the month in the zoning office, we had 6 land use permits issued, 20 construction permits in June, 6 were building, 4 mechanical, 7 electrical, and 3 plumbing. Karen's busy on that every day, it seems like. In the planning commission, we discussed the short-term rental ordinance, the possibility of the short-term rental ordinance. And they're looking over the ordinance that was put together a couple of years ago for discussion next month. And a couple of things that have come up in the zoning office, McNitt Road out on Bar Lake that intersects Piney. A resident out there approached me about building a garage, an accessory building on their lot, which they can do. And they were asking about setbacks from their lot lines. And they sent me a copy of their deed. Their deed is for a piece of property on Bar Lake and a piece on Piney Road, split by the old road right-of-way of McNitt Road. McNitt Road, I guess, until '96, went due east-west along a section. The county, when they built the curve, got a quitclaim deed for the property that they took from a resident out there, or whatever, acquired from a resident out there. But they never abandoned the old road. So these people, of course, want to build on what used to be a road, and they don't own it. So we're going through that. Actually, Dennis brought it up, I guess, yesterday at the road commission meeting. There's a process, I understand, for abandoning a road where we petition the road commission to abandon it. Then it will revert to the landowners and they can build a garage, yeah. And it affects 4 parcels out there. So. And these people, I'm sure when they bought it 4 years ago, didn't know that they didn't own what used to be McNitt Road.
Dennis, where's McNitt Road? Is that where?
It comes,
Louis Lot, or Lenny Lassa used to live there?
That's McNitt, Sam. Okay.
yeah, and I guess it used to be like a Y intersection. McNitt Road used to be gravel.
It's not the A-frame house in question, it'd be the one to the west of that.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
It's the first one on McNitt Road. The first, yeah, 289 McNitt. So that's interesting. We're going to have to work through that. And the other thing I'm in the middle of right now is extending the tribal sewer into the development for Maple Ridge Manor. This is a living complex. The engineering firm working with Maple Ridge thinks that the township should apply for that permit extension. But the tribe owns and operates the pipe, the sewer, not the township.
So they take it.
and they maintain it.
Right.
And if we were the ones to apply for it, we would take liability, we would take responsibility for that sewer if it were abandoned and not maintained anymore by Maple Ridge. So we don't want, the township attorney doesn't want us to do that. I don't think
Well, it's not, I don't, not being an attorney or anything, but that's not our responsibility.
Right, so I'm trying to work out who should apply for this permit to extend the sewer. And that's been hot on the table this week, so.
So is the same thing gonna happen with the water line?
The water line is owned and operated and maintained by the city.
Correct.
So it is the exact same issue. And
Let's,
the Eagle is not, or what? The engineering, if they have not asked us, the city hasn't asked us, or the engineering firm for Maple Ridge to apply for the water main extension. So
does that require a legal permit as well?
I would expect so. It's probably not as rigorous as a wastewater
Right.
line or a sewer line, but yes.
Okay.
So I'm working on that.
But the water line has to go under the highway.
Under the highway, I got jack and board that.
That's a MDOT.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Any questions, guy? Thank you, sir.
Would it be smart or advisable or worth a suggestion to whoever applies for that permit, and when they punch it under the road, to make that water line, water main large enough then to service additional units on the opposite side of the road? Not all the way to the project, but if nothing else, to get a large enough main under the road there.
I know, John, that they're designing it to supply future construction in there by Maple Ridge, because they're talking about apartment complexes and businesses along 31 right there. But I don't know if the city, whoever applies, would design it so that they can spread out into west of Kenner Road, into that subdivision.
I wouldn't want to guess the cost of putting that line under the road, but it'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, I would expect.
Thank you, gentlemen. Chuck, is there anything going on across the street?
Yeah, for the month of June, we had 34 total activities, 4 fire related, 20 medical related. We had 10 station trainings and other activities. Officers had 54 hours. Complaint hours were 79 hours for the month of June. 131 replacement still sounds like it's on schedule for like late September, first part of October. 133 still waiting on FLSI for information on replacing the hydraulic fluid. Hose testing still on hold, haven't heard anything back. Pump testing, possibly September for the county association. We did host our firefighter 1 exam for the county, and the written and practical went well. It was kind of an interesting firefighter class this year, with starting in class and doing online training and finally coming together and finishing just the firefighter 1 portion. We cut it back from firefighter 1 and 2. Thanks, Denny, for getting the eye replaced for the outside lights at the station. And then at the station, we changed the door lock combination also. We did receive that 50/50 grant. I have 3 quotes for turnout gear. I'm working with the city in conjunction with that revenue sharing board grant. It's Mark Cameron to get the best bang for our buck, because you save about $200 to $300 a set when you get over 25 sets. So we should be making that order pretty soon. We still have to spend the revenue sharing money on water rescue equipment, and then the lights for 133, we should be doing it here pretty soon. And no word on the AFG grant with the city and the fire yet. And then next month, we should have at least 1 new applicant. And then for training, we continued with driver's training. Pre-planning, pump outs, progressive hose lake packs for wildfire, emergency operations, traffic control, and some low angle rope rescue training last month. And we're still looking at the action training system. It's roughly about $1,700 a month for all of us. A year, yep, for 12 months for our folks to be able to do online training.
Is that each?
No, it's for all of our folks. And we'd have to double check, make sure. It might be a little bit less than that, depending on what people would be required to have. Because you can do the medical and fire. So. But that's for the entire year, and then they'll be able to do training from home more. So if we have any more interesting, as we're doing now. And then for calls last month, Gordon made 14 calls, Sam had 6 medical calls, and Dave Cook had 5. For the June fire calls, Jimmy Edmondson, Jimmy One-McComb had all 4. Jack, Shelby, Jim, Dave, Sam, and myself had 3. Just a shout out to Gordon for making all those 14 calls. Like I said before, ISO is back in town. We're gonna meet him the 20th. We're still on schedule for that, Denny. So if you want to come to the station at 11 o'clock on the 20th, Eric is his name. He should be there to go over the last few things that we haven't sent through email. That includes like the training records, pumping, hose and ladder testing, pre-planning, water flow, personnel, and dispatch and stuff that they all go through. And then we're applying for a DNR 50/50 grant again for $9,400. Our portion would be $4,700. And we wouldn't see that until this time next year. I sent that to Diane the other day for the resolution to be approved tonight. And then working with the Maple Ridge folks, with Karen and the consultant there, that's been going pretty well. It sounds like they're going to put an 8-inch line across. Talking to her the other day, and they were talking about future adding on to that later. Yep. So.
How big is the main on the opposite side of the road, you know, Chuck?
16 is what Brian was telling me from before.
Okay.
It's a pretty good sized line. And Myers has an 8-inch loop around the back.
Put a lot of water through maybe.
Fine, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was, you were talking about that. I thought about that too, and talked to the consultant there and Karen and something with that. So, thanks, Karen, back to working on that. And then reminder for burn permits. You're not going to get a burn permit right now, but if you want to call 866-922-2876, they'll tell you there's no burn permits being issued right now. We're currently about 2.5 inches light on rain, even though the water levels of Lake Michigan are pretty high and everything else. But the drought index is starting to come up, even with that little shot of rain today. It's already dusty out there where it did rain out in the Irons Peacock area, so as hopefully it doesn't look maybe for this weekend it looks decent, hot and humid, but not as much fire danger, but it's still there. And then next week is supposed to be hot and dry again. So, long range outlook. So that's all I got right now. If anybody's any questions.
One more time on the number for burn permits.
866-922-2876.
Thank you.
Just a note, I passed the station when you were having your firefighter 1 exam written and practical. How many participants did you have?
We had 10 students, and we had 10 or 11 proctors, and then the state area fellow comes down and oversees the whole thing, makes sure we're following all of it.
But it appeared as though the training site that the association, and you guys in the association have set up worked really well and served its purpose.
It did. It was. We've been doing a lot. We've been doing more and more training there, and it's been working out very beneficial to the firefighter 1 and 2 classes, let alone us and then other departments that have used it, like city fires used it recently. And there's still more working on it too. So we put in for a fireworks grant through the state. We got on the list, but we're on the bottom of the list as secondary. So, because we're looking at putting stairs in the internal to go from the first floor to the second floor to the top. Right now, you gotta get a ladder to go to the top, so we use.
Well, whether people recognize it or not, that facility is used a lot for
Oh,
that.
it is. And it's, you don't have to worry about damaging anything at the station. We actually have a donated ladder from Norman Township we can use out there, so. And recently, we put in a standpipe connection system inside through the association funded that. So you can hook up inside and do some interior practice, flow water, and then sprinkler systems that you can actually flow water and shut off. So it's coming along, it takes time.
Yeah. One other thing is we can't change that lock ourselves. We have to have them come over and do it.
Well, we tried,
Yeah,
and
give it your best.
we tried, and apparently from what the fella told us, when we set, we only use 3 numbers, but when they set the number, only 2 of them took. And we couldn't get it to work again. So instead of tearing it apart, he said you shouldn't tear it apart. We just, I told him when he was back in the area, he happened to be in the area of Brother a couple of days or a day later, and he didn't take him that long. So that's his specialty. That's not our specialty.
You can't, it can't be done. It has to be done by hand.
You can do it. We have the instructions, but we follow them, and I don't know, the bugs were bad at night.
Maybe we'll try one more time.
Oh, no, don't break it.
So the cool thing was we didn't have to, we still had the back one with the same combination of time, so we could just go to the back door. We didn't have to try to use the key again, so that worked out. So hopefully we won't have to change it anytime soon.
Any questions? If not, thanks a lot, fellas, and please extend our thanks to everyone across the street. Stay safe.
Drink water.
The liquor inspector, I received a note from the liquor inspector for the month of June 2020. All Manistee Township establishments are in compliance. Liquor inspector, Rick Klaus. Township updates, quick updates on the road. Millark Road is 7/8 done. It's passable, of course. N22 is passable. Some places it's 1 lane for a couple days yet. They're doing the driveways, the blacktop is most all done. It's not in our township, but maybe as early as next week, N55 from Claybank to Udell Hills Road is going to be picked up and put back down. We do not have a word on the bridge yet. There's a anticipated meeting this month. And US 31 from M55 to M22 is scheduled to begin in September. So, lots going on. They need to fix the road that way, but they're going to fix it that way. The parking lot lights have been repaired. We took out the old fixtures and put in energy efficient LED lights in the south parking lot tower here. They're really bright and they're directional, so it doesn't bother the neighbors. The parking lot was repaired and then was damaged when they moved those house pieces in here. The contractor said that he will pay to have it repaired, so that's going to be done. We did get a grant from Manistee County Community Foundation for $6,700 to help with repairs to the observation deck at the Bar Lake outlet. That needs to be sheet piled. We had asked for $13,000, but they graciously granted us $6,700, and we'll get all we can get out of that. I would like to at this time thank Russ Spencer, Dan Jankwitz, and anybody else that's involved with keeping this corner cleaned up over here on the corner of M55 and US 31. It looks very nice. Always nice and clean. And also Mr. Al Young, who takes care of Zimmerman Trip.
Dennis, if I may, you mentioned the corner on 5531. I talked to Chris, I can't tell you his last name at the moment, the new manager, Meyer, and I even drove him over there and we looked at that together. I'm still working on that, but it's kind of like beating
Well, thank you for your efforts.
Squeaky wheel.
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, Lake Michigan is right now at its peak. The projected July level for Lake Michigan and Huron is 3 inches above its record high monthly level. So hopefully we don't get any storms because it would obviously create more damage along the lake shore, not just the outlet, but people's homes. Such, did I miss anything? Seems to be pretty quiet in the office, not really, I'm being facetious, because these ladies are working their tails off to get everybody their absent ballots. And they're doing a fantastic job. Household hazardous waste is going to be August 15th at the Road Commission. Do we have a lot of these flyers? Are there a lot of these in the office? Or?
Oh, we probably have a dozen left.
Okay, if you'd like one, there would be one around the other door by the sneeze guard. We'll put some there. Along with, there is a, I don't know what I did with it, but there's a list of allowables and non-allowables. We contribute to that. Oh, they're in here. What did we contribute towards that?
Oh, yes.
Guys, yeah, but what was it? What was the figure?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head, I'm sorry.
Anyhow, take advantage of it. It's a good place to get rid of a lot of household hazardous materials.
We can put this out on the bulletin board.
Okay. Good. Resolution 2020-06. It's for the fire department grant application. Is that for the 50/50 grant?
Should be, yes.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Are you going to email that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need the copy of the resolution to go with it, or no?
No, we don't need that.
The resolution, as Chuck explained, is to secure some gear, correct? Turn gear. The grant is for $9,400 with our cost being $4,700 if awarded. At this point, I would ask that we apply for that. I would entertain a motion to apply for that.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I second
Then moved, supported that resolution 2020-06, a resolution approving grant submission for fire department personal protective equipment turnout gear. Be adopted, accepted. Any discussion? Call roll.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Ms. Jankowitz?
that. Yes.
Taylor is yes. Mr. Fino?
Yes.
And Mr. Burkhurst?
Dave, yes. Carrie,
Motion carried.
thanks for your work on that, Chuck. Item number 4 is the open learning ordinance. We've been working on this for quite some time. We've been back and forth concerning. I think it's, we've had our fire department look at it, and, as well as the officers in the department. I think it's ready to be adopted. But there was a question.
Yes, I read through this and I had one question in section 7, which is on page 3, 7.19. It says, except for campfires, open burning shall only be conducted during daylight hours and only during times when the area where burning is proposed is under snow. And I think that word "and" is problematic, because then both conditions would have to have snow on the ground and during the day. I think it should be "or," shouldn't it?
I would think so.
Or,
It says.
does that sound right, Sam?
That's for open burning, correct?
Open burning.
Yes.
So listen,
No,
otherwise I read through this and
And you also have it so open burning just during the daylight hours?
that's what it says.
we're talking about, we're not talking about campfires. We're talking about
Yeah.
About
Brush
open burn-
piles.
Brush pile.
So what happens when they burn and they start in the morning and that brush pile is still smoldering after dark?
You know, there's still coals. Do we put it out? I mean, are we saying they should put it out?
No, I think that's,
I think if the permits are being issued for that day, then they should be good to go.
this is to prevent, in my estimation, it would be to prevent, I don't know, I got a brush pile in my backyard, so let's have a barbecue at 7 o'clock and we'll light her off as soon as it gets dark.
Sometimes that's the best time to light it.
Yeah, you got shingles.
For sure, well, for a time, right?
Why make it,
Weather-wise,
Weather.
that's the best thing.
it burns overnight.
Yeah, because there's less wind, right?
Humidity
Because there's
is
no
due
wind.
But then you can get an inversion too, so that it smokes everybody out.
Yeah.
Well, what do we think it should say then?
Just forget the daylight hours and to or issue, said, guy.
I would have it as open burning, under the open burning section, as long as it is permitted throughout the day, then it's open burning, but no permits are needed when there's snow covered on the ground.
That's further along, as far as permits.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what he's referring to in the same sentence too. So that's, I would just put it back on, you know, the permit system, that they can burn during that day.
Well, that's all addressed previous to this. And,
Okay.
yeah, the permitting is addressed in a different section.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's on page 6.
but now you want to regulate when they can burn, as far as the time frame goes.
Well, that's what this says.
Yes.
But sometimes the state will issue burning after 6 p.m.
Yes.
So if someone has a pile they'd like to burn after 6 p.m., it'll burn through the night. We've done that in the past too, just because it's higher fire danger during the day. You could probably just strike that whole thing right out of there,
We could take that, yeah, we could take that paragraph out.
because it's covering the other parts.
I've seen brush piles, had brush piles burned for 2-3 days.
Oh, yeah. Especially
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and agriculture is totally different.
Yeah.
Well, I want this adopted.
Okay,
How do you
well, I
want-
would make a motion that, okay, I'll make a motion.
Well, I'm tired of working on it.
All right.
That we adopt ordinance, whatever this is.
No, what do you want, Sam? You want-
2020-01 and with the striking paragraph 7.1.9.
And just eliminate it completely.
Yeah, because it's really covered under permits.
Which way we can always have state law enforce it.
Right.
I
You
know
can't-
people that spend a lot of time in court.
It's the first time I've done it.
Was that a motion, guy?
Yes, it was a motion.
Did you get the entire motion?
Yes. He's going to adopt this ordinance as written, provided
We strike paragraph.
we strike paragraph 7.1.9.
Okay.
Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnston? Thank you.
Phew. Any more discussion, huh? Roll call on that as well.
Yes. Ms. Williams.
Call roll, please.
So, Ms. Jankowitz.
Yes.
Taylor is yes.
Yes.
Mr. Mr. Fino,
Yes.
now Mr. Dodds,
Yes.
and Mr. Berkowitz.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Anything else?
I did want to make comment that people seem really happy with the pickleball court, and see it's pretty active. They come in, they let me know how pleased they are, so thank you for doing that.
It's, and the ambulance hasn't had to go there either, so they're doing really good. No, they appreciate, the group really appreciates everything that's being done up there. We are gonna have an open house up there as soon as the donation sign gets put up. Anything else? Motion to pay the bills?
Oh, good idea.
I make a motion to pay the bills as presented and the balance of the incoming bills for the month of June.
Support?
I'll support.
Move supported to pay the bills and provided as well as received for the month. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. None opposed? MTA has not been scheduled yet. Board review is scheduled for the 21st at 6 p.m. here at the Township Hall. And it's normally to correct errors and omissions, but with the governor's executive order, appeals will be heard. Michigan primary election will be held on Tuesday, August 4th, here at the Township Hall. As I suggested earlier, they're working very diligently to try and get everyone their absent ballots. If you need an application, we're happy to help you with that. The precinct will be open, correct?
It will be open, but there will be limited voting booth availability because of 6-foot distancing.
And that will be strictly enforced.
It will be enforced.
The Planning Commission is scheduled for August 5th here at the Hall. Zoning Board of Appeals, if there is an appeal, will be August 11th. The next regular meeting of the Manistee Township Board will be Thursday, August 13th here at the Township Hall. Any other comments? If not, I'd like to ask everyone to stay safe. Obviously, this thing isn't over with yet. Just be smart, be safe. Motion's in order.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Then move support, we adjourn. All in favor?
Um,
Aye. None opposed? Thank you all very much.